Hi everyone and welcome. My name is Kish. When I first moved to London, to be honest, I didn't even do much preparation. I was very young. I hadn't even visited London prior to moving to London. So when I flew to London for the first time, it was my first international trip ever. And when I landed, it was the start of a whole new journey, living overseas. And I was very surprised. Racism in London. One of my housemates told me that I'm black and I must go back and live in my jungle. That was absolutely vile and shocking to hear. Another person told a group of friends and I that we needed to move off their lawn, and he used racial slurs. So it was very strange for me to be in a place where racism was evident. And yes, London is definitely a melting pot, and that is one of the most wonderful things about London, because I was able to meet people from all walks of life, all different countries, and it was so interesting, to be overseas, to be immersed in the London lifestyle, and to meet people who you would have never probably have had the experience of meeting had you been back in your home country. So that was interesting, and to be honest, that was one of the highs of being in London, is that it is such a cosmopolitan place. It is a place where different races meet. You see many interracial relationships and marriages, and it's a beautiful thing to see. The one very depressing part about London was that when I first moved to London, it rained for about 16 days straight. And I had left a country that is hot and a country that is very sunny. So adjusting to a different climate was very hard. And I wasn't prepared for the winters at all. I did not know that it was dark for most of the day, and not seeing sunshine and going to work in the dark, coming back from work in the dark, that was an adjustment. And to be honest, I've never fully adjusted to London winters. But what kept me going in London was definitely the nightlife, I must say, because when I went out clubbing, I met friends. I would often go clubbing on my own. I would go during happy hour or during the times where it was free to go to clubs. So before 8 o'clock, and therefore I would spend less money on entertainment and dancing and alcohol. And it was there that I met people who were coming overseas, coming to London on their own, who had left behind their family and friends and were starting a new life as well. So our commonality was that we were trying to grow and sometimes just simply survive in London, to be honest. And that was really great to meet people from other places and to form those friendships. I was not prepared to hear that it would be difficult for me to find employment. I come from a public relations background, and when I went to recruiters, they said to me, well, you don't have UK experience, so it's going to be difficult for you to find employment. Luckily, a recruiter suggested that I actually opt for contracting roles. Now, this was something very different for me, because prior to the recruiter suggesting contract roles, I had actually never done contracting in my life. So I then applied for the contracting roles and I was hired, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it, because it enabled me to be immersed in diverse roles, and it enabled me to quickly get into the UK market. And it also shifted me from strictly PR to communications and marketing, which I absolutely love. So there was actually a blessing in hindsight that the person said, try contracting. So in my work experience, I actually got to work with former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who was the then Mayor of London. And that was really, really interesting to be able to come overseas and work with high profile people and see how things operate at that level. So that was quite interesting. I must say that homesickness was and is always a challenge when you live overseas, when you live away from loved ones, because you miss birthdays, you miss special events, you miss people being born, it could be your niece or your nephew, or you miss people passing on and not being present for their funerals. So homesickness is a very real thing, and you actually get to appreciate time spent with your loved ones when you go for visits back to your home country, because you have a new perspective of the value of time and the value of seeing the people that you love and physically being with them, as opposed to just Facebook calls or WhatsApp video calls. It's very different to be able to hug a person versus having a telephonic call with a person. So homesickness is a big thing to watch out for when you move abroad, because we often downplay it, or we have no experience of that distance, physical distance, as well as that duration of time, because it's not cheap to just get on a flight and go back to see your loved ones and your friends and family. So why do this if it's so difficult, if it's sometimes so incredibly lonely or sad? Why take yourself out of the country that you know, that you love, that you have your network of family and friends, that you'd probably have a stable job in, and why leave? Why leave for something new? Why leave for something potentially incredibly difficult? Well, here's the thing. When you move out of your comfort zone, as cliche as it sounds, it really enables you to grow, in the sense that you are able to overcome challenges that you would have never thought possible before, because you haven't had that experience of dealing with certain challenges, be it homesickness, be it looking for a new role in a different country, trying to navigate the cultural differences, trying to navigate the transport system. So it puts you in a position where you have to learn how to grow, and grow at a faster rate than you may have done so in your own country. So also it's enjoyable to see new places, to immerse yourself in a different culture, to have that experience of actually coming to London and seeing the Tower Bridge, seeing Buckingham Palace, seeing the nightlife at Leicester Square, Piccadilly Circus, of taking the tube, of marveling at things that you would have normally only seen on television. So I would say to a person that is looking to come overseas or looking to come to London, you need to plan thoroughly. Make sure that you have enough savings, because London is a very, very expensive place to live in. And you need to know that when you come to London, you may not get a job in the first 2 or 3 weeks. You need to have enough savings to last you the duration of the time between looking for a job and actually having that job in place. You need to also be aware that you should be able to look at areas that are not particularly expensive. If you need to do house sharing, do house sharing. Even if it's foreign to you, you'll save a lot of money. It's not easy to house share with people, but if you're in a house share environment that's friendly, that's inviting and encouraging, it wouldn't be as isolating for you, and it'll also be very, very cost effective. The thing about London, like for instance, hen parties. Prior to moving to London, I didn't even know what a hen party was. In my country, we call it a bridal shower, but in London, it's referred to as a hen party, where the ladies would often go to the nightclubs and they'd enjoy a night out before their wedding day. And I'd also see people clubbing in their pajamas in the London clubs, which is quite funny. So I would say to any person watching this video is that seize the opportunity if it presents itself. Definitely plan ahead, and you will experience probably one of the most challenging, rewarding, frustrating, stressful, and happiest periods of your life. There is, however, a period of adjustment when you're moving to a new place, or moving abroad, or moving to London. Your mind and your heart has to adjust to all the newness, and in time it will happen. But be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with the process, and good things will follow. So please like, subscribe, and comment below, and let me know if you moved overseas or to a new place or to London. What was it like, and what were some of the challenges that you faced? Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.